I'm Kai from West Sound Records, and this is Patience off of Drayton's new self-titled EP.
Hi, my name is CHRVNS.
I'm Morgan.
And this is Shut Up and Listen. Today, we are here with the one, the only, the chosen, Kai, founder of West Sound Records. Man. What up, motherfucker?
Doing well, yeah.
Thank you for
It's
coming.
an honor to have you here.
Yeah, it's nice to be in the studio.
You know,
shout out Bob.
Shout out Bob for letting us use his studio space.
You know, Bob likes to yell at me a lot.
Bob is right for that. Anyways, so to just dive right in, so you're the founder of West Sound Records. Can you tell people what
That entails.
what that entails? What is West Sound Records for the people who don't know?
All right, yeah, West Sound Records is a record label that I started when I was 16, then moved to Bellingham, and it kind of had a few different phases of it. I was throughout the whole process have been, releasing music for local independent artists. For a while, I was releasing an independent fanzine called The Madrona. I had put together, 3 to 5 sentence music reviews of all these different local bands, highlight the new releases, add some photography, poetry, and art.
Dope.
And then from there, I kind of put that down last March and just haven't been writing as much. Kind of went more into the photography side of it and concert promotion. I put together a post every week that highlights all the different shows in Bellingham.
I know. I've been following that.
I was like, we share it.
And just posting concert photography and content. And then more recently, I've been focusing more on label releases and just promoting, bands that are on my label, whether it be their shows, their new albums, anything they put out. And I feel like at least my Instagram account has kind of turned into this hub for the Bellingham music scene, which is, it's nice kind of putting that all together.
Absolutely.
You helping us.
And so you started it when you were 16. Was there something that kind of sparked it? Was it just you already had the love for music? Were you playing music? What kind of brought that up to start?
I've been performing music for a while. I've been putting together, writing my own music and releasing it since I was maybe 13. And it started off as just I could release, my own music and maybe a handful of friends. And I think the record label, it was originally supposed to be my senior project in high school. And then it was complicated. Basically, it wasn't my senior project.
They get a lot of rules once it gets to it.
Yeah. And I just kept it rolling and, kept it running, which was nice. Yeah. It's definitely very, very heavily inspired by Sub Pop and Bruce Pavitt back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. I really like what he did for the Seattle scene, and I'm just trying to maybe recreate that in Bellingham.
That's dope. I guess one thing I did see, you did it was a story kind of thing, just going to the origin of the name.
Yeah, so
we need that. I need that.
West Sound it's not even big enough to be a town. I think it's technically considered a village, but it's this beach on Orcas Island where I grew up. Just a quick bike ride from my house, and I, just spent a lot of time there in growing up and through high school, just biking down there, hanging out on the beach and in the woods, catching crabs and stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know, probably my favorite place in the world. And I was like, yeah, West Sound Records. And it's funny because I came up with the name, while I was in high school before I even moved to Bellingham. And I think it's funny because most people probably, like, just from what I've heard, most people think it has to do with like Western and sound, like music. But it's actually like West Sound, like the beach on Orcas, which
that's perfect.
I think it's funny that it lined up, and that probably has some, ties into how
totally
it
worked
operates.
out. Or even just like being on the West
Coast.
Yeah.
Yep. It just
It
gives
really
meaning for
worked.
everybody. I love it. And I loved when I was reading that story. I was like, oh, what? Yeah, it made me excited.
And so for being on the label, who's on the label currently? Because I know you got a couple names up there.
The main ones that we're working with right now are Drayton. We just put out their EP. Girls Know, we put out an EP for about a month ago. Smithers is my own band.
We love Smithers.
And those are the three that I've been pushing recently. I've had a few smaller ones like Jetter Boy, Rossage, and Kellen Murphy, Floodlights and Fools. They're both from Anacortes. I've put out a few albums for them. And then working on getting stuff out there for Mad King and Fire Alarm. And I'm trying to think if there's any more, but yeah, Girls Know and Drayton have been the two that I've been releasing for, pushing this
I knew Drayton releases phenomenal too.
Yeah.
But I guess what is that so helping somebody put out the album, what does that look like?
Yeah, usually it looks like it's kind of different for each artist. Like Girls Know, they handle all their stuff on streaming and Spotify, and then I handle their CDs. So, getting it produced, getting it to record stores, getting it to radio stations, all that kind of stuff. Drayton, I do, both putting it on Spotify and their CDs and stuff. And while physical media is great, it doesn't make a lot of money. And I think the main thing that I provide for, the bands on my label, as well as just probably most bands in the Bellingham music scene, is just promoting their shows, getting tickets sold. And that's kind of what I've seen actually helps the bands the most. And it's kind of just, I imagine a lot of bands do see benefit from that, but the bands that are on my label, I just definitely highlight a lot more and push them forward as far as live shows and promotion and stuff. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was genuinely curious. That's super dope.
Yeah.
And so, and how long have you been in Bellingham?
I lived in Bellingham for like 6 months in like 2005 or 6. And that was like a 6-month stint where I was a little baby and my mom lived here. But I moved up here full time when I was 17 for college. And so, I've been living here since. And so, September of 2022 was when I moved here.
Okay, so a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And so for that, because like we were just talking about, you went to 5 shows just on Friday, so you're very
very versed.
Yeah, you're very versed. You go into the shows. Something, because I know it's something like we even talk about a lot is just the music scene, the house show scene, and all of those scenes. One from when you started paying attention to the music scene here into now. Is there what's something you really like about what's going on? Because then the next question is going to follow up is what's something you can change. But what's something that you really love about the Bellingham DIY scene?
Yeah, the Bellingham DIY scene. I'd say the first house show I went to in Bellingham, Cravens, you were actually playing, it was Foxy Fest.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like, I had been to a few other shows just like on campus or whatever I could find, like a week before that. But I went to that and that was like my first house show experience. And it was like, I paid $10 to go see a couple bands in somebody's living room. And it was interesting because at first that seemed so, maybe not weird to me, but it was just
crazy.
I can't believe I'm doing this right now. And I think it's funny how that's just kind of turned into everything that I'm doing. But yeah, Bellingham definitely has an amazing DIY scene. A lot of it's, just college students who have crazy ideas and they want to do it and they can just throw something together for whatever budget they have. A lot of it's just putting together shows wherever you can put them. A lot of the times it'll be somebody's living room or garage, their backyard, or at the skate park under the bridge, or up in the middle of the woods with a generator.
The generators look crazy. I got to catch one of those. We'll be right back after these messages. We'd like to give a special thanks to Lost Giant Cider Company, always providing us with our cider beverages and the best of the cider beverages. Visit Lost Giant's tap room in the heart of Bellingham at 1200 Meter Avenue in the Haskell Business Center. It's just down the street from Lakeway Fred Meyer. Menace Brewing, located in the Fountain District, is where flavor is unleashed. It serves as a local hub of craft beer and community. Recognized as the neighborhood's premier soccer hangout, I love me some soccer. Menace Brewing isn't just a brewery, it's the go-to spot for sports action and local engagement. Visitors can catch the game, connect with fellow fans, and immerse themselves in the heart of the spirited community. Menace Brewing invites everyone to join them, where every visit feels like coming home. Experience Menace Brewing in Bellingham today. And welcome back.
Yeah, and Bellingham's obviously a college town. There's 15, 20,000 college students that most Friday nights they want to go out and do something. And having so many all ages venues too, I think that's a key part of it too. And yeah, it's a lot of people wanting to, and there's also so many musicians that are wanting to play. There's just so much of everything. It's really nice. There's so many different options. Anybody can go see whatever genre of show they want on a Friday night, and it's a really nice community of people who, it's cool because it's a small enough town that I feel like it's the perfect size town where you can go to a show and you'll still know 15 or 20 people that are there, which is really nice. True. But it's not like you're always bumping into the same people. It's a nice flow of...
It's perfect big small town.
Yeah. Perfect medium.
And also, obviously, being in a college town, there's a new class of freshmen every year, which is just... Every fall, it's just revamping everything and brand new interest.
Excitement is back.
Excitement's back. But
I
don't think the excitement ever leaves, though.
No.
No, but there's that.
I love my shows, house shows. It's very sad to see the main hubs that we have. Mm-hmm. They're gone now, but now seeing the new ones rise up, it's just
Yeah, we're kind of in that blossoming period for, especially at least the house show part.
Yeah.
But they'll be all back. They're still there. They haven't gone, but just kind of getting that solidified where we had Blue Room or Bluebird and the ballroom and all of that. And go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's kind of a bummer that there, for a while were house shows that would be the main ones doing show every other week or whatever it may be. And I think it's interesting now that it's kind of turned into more, there are a few houses that are doing regular ones Riot House or Karate Church, but I think it's interesting now that a lot of the house venues are only really doing shows once or twice. Just
so you gotta find them.
Yeah, and that's what I do for people.
He's like, I find them.
And when I know where this venue's doing a one-time show, I can be DM them and you can find the address for this show.
Yeah, keep it safe.
Which it's nice to be the hub for all that when there's not a physical place for it anymore, or not as obvious of a physical place,
Yeah, because especially with advertising for house shows, it gets harder because you can't just blast here's this address and here's that, because then all the things, but especially with
the things,
especially with landlords and everyone is keeping people's homes and not putting them on blast about it. So it's nice having a spot that people can go to find where those house shows are, because you can't just put a flyer around town like how you used to be able to an extent.
Okay, so then let's keep it going, because she had a two-parter. We only got one part. Ooh. What do you think? What do you want to see change in the Bellingham music scene?
What I want to see change. I like seeing it grow. I think it has a lot of potential for growth. Just having more venues, more bands, more people going to shows, better, and I think with that, the way that it's played out so far, the growth in quantity has been correlated with a growth in the quality of everything too, which is really nice. I mean, I want to see 3 house shows every night. Not that that's going to happen, but
The change I want is more.
That's a fair change.
Yeah.
Because it is, especially getting people to go to the concerts, which I feel like is very important of what you're doing, is letting people know that there are shows happening, because that's the biggest thing. You can put on a million shows, but you want the people to go to them and experience them. And so
Even as an artist, just to see like your name. I remember a couple times I seen my name on it. I was like, yes, read it, bro. Like that's such a fulfilling like moment right there in itself. Just seeing your name on that list, that calendar. Yeah. So yeah, big love for that.
yeah, I feel like I try to mention as many bands, especially small bands, as possible, just in hope that, like, oh, what if my mention of their name is the reason they keep on doing music, or the reason they book another show, or the reason they put out another album.
Well, it takes
like,
that support, man.
I really
take a
like
little support from
seeing
everybody,
that
and
support
then
for people, you know.
it's that excitement of seeing your name in something and knowing that other people are supporting what you're doing and trying to get people to go to it really can change the whole trajectory of where you go.
showing somebody that at least one person cares, and
Yeah.
then boom, bam.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, we on to something now.
It also helps because people, no matter how much people don't want to be, is people are. There's more followers than there are leaders, and so sometimes it takes that one person to go, "Oh, I'm going to this show," and then they're like, "Oh, that sounds
Might
like a
as
great
well,
idea.
yeah.
I'm
If
gonna
you're
go to that
going,
show." I'm gonna go. I'm gonna tell this person to
Yeah.
go.
You
You
And
find
so
that
just
happening
kinda-
a lot now. Like if there's people ask you, what are you going to? And
Yeah. It's always the group chat of like people sending 3 or 4 flyers and everybody in the 15-person group chat voting, you know.
Oh, what?
Where are we gonna go?
That's actually really good. I like that.
That's awesome.
You know, apart from the flyers, I think another big part about it is the concert photography. I haven't been doing concert photography as much recently, but it's something I do occasionally. And then Punk Polaroids is probably one of my favorite photographers this year. But I think it's, you know, probably on the same idea of bands seeing their name on the flyer and wanting to go, or like, you know, people wanting to go to that, or what was I trying to say? Oh, yeah. Having concert photography and especially crowd shots. I think crowd shots are so important because people who feel like, you know, they're not in a band or they're maybe not a part of it, I think getting to see your face or one of your friends' face just in a crowd shot at the show, I think that's a lot of it.
Absolutely.
Crowd shots are.
I've shared
unstoppable.
every time I see myself on one of those, I'm like, hell yeah, and I share it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in that. And it's also even for like the artist, because that's one thing I really like about just everything that's going on is like having West on Records and being able to see your name in that lineup of shows that are happening, or even as the artist or just as the person going, is the photos you see afterwards of when the show happened and they're posted on Instagram, especially as the bands when you don't have like a photographer at things, like you're one just getting assets to show like I look cool on stage, check us out. And then getting that is like you just have that double whammy of getting people to want to go to those shows and be a part of those shows. And that's a big part, is just there's so many people who want to be a part of them now.
Yeah.
Like, how can we help promote it, run it, the whole thing, that there's so many people who are interested in doing all of exactly what we're doing. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really cool how the music scene has kind of incorporated so many different forms of art into it, you know, because like you can be a band that, you know, obviously plays music, but then that obviously opens up doors for photographers that maybe they can't play an instrument, but they can take cool shots at shows, or visual artists who maybe they can make flyers and or album art and put it out for the bands. And it's just a really cool collective of so many different creative minds that are all putting something together to make a music community, you know?
Exactly. I love it. Speaking of that, for West on Records, is there kind of like a trajectory of where you want to go? Do you want to keep it growing? Do you want to like add more people on the label, add more people to the team, or are you kind of liking exactly where you're at with what's going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my ultimate goal is probably, be Sub Pop, but without the heroin.
Great goals. Yeah. We love that.
Yeah, I mean, I love
Make that the
Washington.
slogan.
Clip that, bro. I want to be.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to keep it pretty centered in Washington, at least for the next 5 years, maybe just Northwest centered. I don't know how big I'd want to span geographically, just because I think a lot of it is rooted in locality. And I think that's probably the most important part about it for me is like these people are in the same city, the same state, playing the same venues as I am. And I think that's what makes it so special. And while growth would be cool beyond that, I think I'd still want it to be centered, in the Pacific Northwest at biggest.
Yeah.
But
absolutely. And so is the goal to kind of lock down it being more on the label side, or is it just kind of exactly what you're doing, is the blend of having the label but also creating that community just for everyone?
Yeah, I think I've kind of realized that running a record label is just putting out CDs and whatever it may be is not a viable business model. And I think kind of creating a business that's, putting out music, selling tickets, promotion, concert photography, all these other things, and kind of building that together is kind of what I want to do. And I don't really know which of those aspects is going to be the main focus of it going forward, but it's nice to have everything involved,
together.
That one record you're trying to find on vinyl from your favorite artist, you just can't find it. Have you ever checked out Black Noise? It is the heart of Bellingham's music scene, founded by the one and only Nico Sanchez. They've got all sorts of indie gems, handpicked by Nico himself. Jazz, punk, you name it. Swing by for some good vibes and, whatever album you're trying to find. 1312 Bay Street, Deppin. Binary Recording Studio is a versatile space designed to cater to all music genres. And when I say all, I mean all. If you're into jazz, rock, hip-hop, or anything in between, Binary is equipped to bring your music to life. With the expert engineering and the best setup, my boy Bob, he can capture the essence of whatever you are wanting to create and bring it, just to reality. From there, book your session today, unleash your creativity at Binary Recording Studio. But for real, my boy Bob, he will not disappoint. And welcome back.
So what's up?
All right, I'm gonna make a rock album. I'm gonna send it to you this summer.
Okay.
I'm put it out through you.
Put a rock album out?
Yeah, it's gonna be maybe like I saw like 5-6 songs.
So
mark my words, bro. I'm being dead ass. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to get that out.
For that show, speaking of music, I heard of this little thing that's going to be happening for West Sound Fest. Do you want to tell the people what that is?
West Sound Fest.
Exclusive.
I have actually probably released pretty little info on this, besides the name, the date, and that it's going to be in Bellingham.
So far, all that we have on the Cascadia, let's see, because they wrote a sentence on it. Ross will put on the largest event yet, a 3-day music festival featuring more than 40 artists called West Sound Fest.
Yeah, West Sound Fest. It's going to be May 17th through 19th in Bellingham. It's going to be across, I want to say, 10 different venues, and it's going to feature a little over 40 bands that are going to be playing, each night. And I kind of am scheduling it out so there's going to be pretty much music going from around 5 p.m. to maybe 3 a.m. So
perfect.
It's going to be a lot of, encouraging concert hopping, seeing which bands you want at each venue and just kind of hopping around town, seeing as many bands as you can. And pretty much all of the artists are from Bellingham, and there's a handful from Seattle. But it's just going to be a huge local music festival.
Love it.
Yeah, we have Cravens for one of the shows. I think Saturday night. I'd have to check the calendar. That's going to be a late night show. Yeah. I don't know. Should I? I might as well list off some of the band
Just give
names.
us like 5 or 6. You know
I was like, we still have a bit before this one's gonna come out.
It's coming out in April, so you got time.
This one's gonna be This is coming out. Actually, this will be perfect because yours is coming. By the time the people are hearing us now, it's coming out on May 2nd.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let him know.
Let him know.
Let him know.
Okay.
And we won't tell them that we knew well before that episode was out.
I'm trying to think.
She said, remember all 40.
Our main Blue Room shows, we have one night that's going to be Foxy Apollo, Pantsuit Guy, makeshift show with Black Ends, Lamb, Drayton, Girls Know.
The new Lamb album also.
There's going to be the Friday night at Makeshift I'm super excited for. It's going to be, I think, Discolored, Fire Alarm, Moon Mother, and Beautiful Freaks.
Oh, what?
And then after that, there's going to be an after show at the Mothership Live with Syra Worth from Beautiful Freaks and Zucrot. So that's going to be...
I'm excited.
You got Zucrot. How'd you...
It's going to be... And I think those are the... Oh, what's the other one? There was the spring one. I don't even know what it's going to be called. But if it's going to be by May 2nd, I might as well say it. It was the only one that I wasn't allowed to announce yet. But it's, I think, Cuttlefish, Pure Halcyon, and Smooth Kiwi for I think it's supposed to be something like the Fall Ball, but in spring.
Yeah.
So at this point of recording, I'm not sure exactly what that's going to look like. But
So basically they need to follow you and stay up to date to
yeah.
find out.
Where can they find you at?
on Instagram at West Sound Records.
Dude, that's gonna be epic. That's gonna be an epic weekend.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's I've been trying to get it together for a while. I think the original date that I had for West Sound Fest was actually May 14th of 2021. So it'd been pushed back for
2 years.
a long while, yeah.
Gotta organize just between venues, artists, and just all the millions
so much
of
stuff,
moving
yeah.
pieces that it goes. Because even what it is today, there's still gonna be tweaks by the time this episode comes out, and that's
Yeah.
just the fun reality, but also I guess the exciting part of doing the shows and putting them on and organizing it is then once you get to see it all come together, you just get to sit back and go, "This is crazy."
Yeah. I'm so excited for the festival. I'm so excited to see where the music scene is going to be by then, because it's, 2 or 3 months away?
Yeah.
Knowing how much the music scene can change in that short of time, I'm really excited for what this festival is going to turn out to be.
It's gonna be the perfect start to a summer.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for
That's
real.
that's literally what it
start.
is. The perfect start to the summer.
Yeah.
Talk about timing. That's gonna be great. Yeah. That being said, on our end and everyone's end, I do want to appreciate what you're doing for the community and the highlight that you're giving bands and artists and just the music community and everyone that's a part of it. I think it's very important and special to have all those resources for people, and then having just the want to go put a 40 band festival 3-day thing together it's impressive and admirable to be doing for the community. So thank you for being on our podcast.
Thank you. For real.
Yeah,
man.
it's so much fun. I would do all this stuff for free. It just brings me so much joy to see such a vibrant community and musicians and everybody coming together to put this stuff,
Seriously.
It's fun.
Absolutely. This is the time where I like to ask people random questions
Random
that have
questions.
nothing to do with what's going on in the music scene. You want to start with that one?
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Go-to karaoke song. Alphabet Aerobics by Black Alicious. I learned it when I was probably 10 or 11.
Back of the hand. Don't even got to think about it. You just sit in there, right?
Those are the best karaoke songs. All right. Do you have any pets?
Not currently. I live in an apartment.
I feel that. Let's see. What's your favorite Kool-Aid flavor / color? Because I don't know by flavors.
I don't ever drink Kool-Aid, but
Wow.
we did. When I was little, we had these little, they were called silky bantams, and they're these chickens that were this tall, and they're white and fluffy. And so what we
What?
did
You
with
had
them,
those?
we had them, and I'm gonna say this off the bat. This is completely animal safe. It did not hurt them. But these white little chickens, we'd take them and we'd dye them in Kool-Aid. So we had like these little blue and pink and purple puffballs walking around the yard.
That's adorable.
And I think we called them poodle turkeys.
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. And maybe, I want to say 2015, we had our purple one. Her name was Penelope Cruz. And we entered her into a chicken beauty contest in Portland, and she won.
Hell yeah.
So now we have this like giant ass chicken beauty contest trophy above our mantle. And
For the poodle turkeys.
yeah, dyed in purple Kool-Aid. Yeah.
That's awesome. You know when you do those
That was
like
the best flavor.
beginning the class when they do the icebreakers and they're like two truths and a lie. I would totally use that for one of my truths. I was like, yeah, I had a poodle turkey win the beauty contest. Well, that's
I got nothing after that.
Yeah,
That
that
was perfect.
was-
That was perfect, yeah.
Well, this is the time one more time. Thank you so much for being on our podcast, and
really,
thanks
thank
to everyone who makes the music scene happen, especially whoever is watching this currently. Thank you, and you can follow us on anywhere you can find a podcast. Shut Up and Listen, and you can also check out our super cool website, shutupbeham.com, where you can see a calendar of music that is happening throughout town. You can also just go to this lovely Instagram and see everything that's happening out that week of that weekend, and keep your eyes out for shows and continue to go to them.
Yeah.
We also want to thank our sponsors here in the back or in the front right here. And then
We got Lost Giants. Thank you for the cider, staying scrumptious. And shout out Menace Brewing, keeping us bubbly.
and shout out to our team in the back with Rocket Soul Studios and Binary Recording, keeping us going and making this all happen and bringing all the people together.
We love you, Bob. Man. Have a wonderful day.
Rock
Stay wonderful.
local.
Stay dry out there. We love you. Bye.
Thanks again for tuning in to Shut Up and Listen. For more captivating content, including videos, articles, and everything music related, visit our website at shutupbeham.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button wherever you get your podcast, and join the conversation by following us at Shut Up and Listen Beham on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Shut Up and Listen is proudly produced by Rocket Soul and Binary Recording Studio. Stay tuned for more fantastic episodes.